My name is Pawan Jaiswal. Welcome back to my series, Servlet JSP Tutorial. Till now, we have seen how to run a servlet using IDE. But what if someone wishes to run a servlet without an IDE? Is that really possible? Yes, the answer is yes. You can really run a servlet even without an IDE. What you really need to have as a prerequisite? You need to have a working Java version. You need to have, say, an Apache Tomcat or any web server of your choice. You need to have a servlet-api.jar so that whichever class you are making as a servlet need to get compiled using that jar. You have to set class path of that jar. And then you can create a specific directory structure into the web app of Apache Tomcat and you are ready to go. So what directory structure you are supposed to follow? This is the directory structure which Sun Microsystem has given. Web app of Apache Tomcat, you can keep your project name folder. In that project name folder, you will have to create webinf folder where webinf should be in capital, and then you can even put .html or .jsp there. In webinf, you can have leave and classes folder where .java and .classes will go. In leave, your say servlet-api.jar or required connectors or jar will go, and then you must have web.xml or deployment descriptor file into the webinf folder. So let's get our hand dirty now while demonstrating it, while coding it. So I do have an Apache Tomcat kept on my machine on E drive. So let's go to web app folder and create a project folder here. Say servlet without IDE. In this, create a webinf folder. It has to be in capital. In webinf, you can keep classes and you can keep a leaf. As I said, I'll be needing a leaf called servlet-api.jar. I can really copy it. That is available into the Apache Tomcat leaf folder, servlet-api.jar. Copy this file into your leaf folder now, which you have just created. So web app, servlet without IDE, webinf, leaf, paste it here. Okay, now let's create a normal application. Say you are having an index.html where you accept a name and then you have a submit button. So if you click on that submit button, it should take you to the servlet where you just say that welcome and the name. So let's open a notepad++ and create an HTML file. I'll save this file as an HTML file into Apache Tomcat web app servlet without IDE. Here we'll keep it hypertext markup language and the name of file is index.html. Okay, so let's have a body tag. Close the body tag. Have a form which accepts a name from keyboard. So input type text and the name of field is say username. Okay, then there is a input type submit. We shall take you up to a particular action. That action is that we like to call a servlet. Name of that servlet is say new servlet. And this time we like to demonstrate a method post. Earlier videos in this series are demonstrating get method usage. Add a break tag here so that you can get the submit button on next page. Now index.html is done. Now it's the job to write new servlet, a plain Java class which is extending HTTP servlet. So Ctrl U public class new servlet which extends what? HTTP servlet. Save this, and you'll have to save this into the classes folder, and the extension will be Java. Name of the file is new servlet. So allow me to use a shortcut for importing all the required package of servlet, something like this, and even all the required package of HTTP like this. Okay, you like to override a method called protected void do post. That's the method that we are making use of. HTTP, it takes two parameters, HTTP servlet request and then object request. Then HTTP servlet response, object response. It throws two exceptions. One is IO, another is servlet. Okay. Import the package for IO exception. Import java.io.star. Now, as mentioned in earlier videos, HTTP request can be taken into the servlet using request object. You have got request.get parameter, which will help you to get the parameter of HTML form. The parameter name was username, which returns back a string. So string name equals to this thing. Now we like to print this thing on browser. So you must need to instantiate a print writer object out using response.getWriter method. You can even set content type like response.set content type by text or HTML. And now you can say out.println welcome a specific name. So I guess we are done with writing the new servlet, which is now servlet for our case. Now it's time to write a web.xml, the very much important deployment descriptor file, which will help us to map a particular URL request to this new servlet. There are two options. One is making use of annotation or making this entry into web.xml. We'll go for second option in this video. Let's write a web.xml. Allow me to use a cheat sheet here for writing my XML tag. Save this file with extensible markup language, and the name of file is web.xml. You'll have to save this file into web-inf directory directly. Okay, a context root tag is web app. As mentioned in earlier videos as well, you'll have a servlet tag here. Then you'll have a servlet name where you'll mention a name of servlet, say new servlet, and you'll close servlet name tag. Similarly, you'll have a servlet class, a subtag, where you'll mention the name, a class that will be created after compilation of that Java. So servlet closing class tag. Now you have to have servlet mapping tag so that the request can be mapped to a particular URL. It has got two subtags. First is servlet name and then second is URL pattern. In earlier videos we have said what are the importance of these all tags. You may please refer if you are finding some difficulty. We like to redirect all the requests when they come to this particular URL, new servlet. So I guess we are done with writing web.xml. Now your job is to put this entire directory structure into web app if you have kept it in somewhere else. But in our case, we have kept this project into web app only. Now it's time to turn on the server. So go to bin directory and go to command prompt and say startup -bat space start. It should start Apache Tomcat into the new window, and then you shall get a message that it has been started. To really cross check that, you can go to browser and hit localhost with a listening port number. In my case, it's 8080. So go to browser, localhost :8080. If you are getting green page of Apache Tomcat, it means it is live and up. Yes, it's live and up. Now you have to give the context path. Context path in my case is servlet without. I'm sorry. Before that, you must have to compile the Java and shall get a .class. So what compilation, you must need to have a servlet-api.jar file. So let's go back here, web app. Let's go back to servlet without IDE. Let's go back to web-inf, classes, and compile this .java file. cmd java c, we have to give class path. A class path is there in a leaf folder. I have to use servlet-api.jar to compile new servlet.java file. If everything was fine, you shall be able to see no error, but we are getting an error. What is that error? HTTP servlet. Yes, there is a problem in spelling of this particular method. HTTP servlet request and HTTP servlet response. Okay, clear the screen, compile it again. No error, and you can see that .class has been created. Now you'll have to restart the server again because changes have been made there into that web app directory. So let's go back here, click startup bat.start, and then server is started. Cross check it with localhost :8080. Restart it. Localhost :8080. It's live enough. Now to the context path, it is servlet without IDE /index.html. Yes, it means at least it is listening to a servlet, not servlet as of now, to index.html. Let's give a name Pawan. If I click on this submit button, it shall take me to a new servlet, and then it shall give me a message, welcome Pawan. Let's see whether it happens or not. Yes, it really happened. It means our servlet is working fine. So what has happened, on submit button we are calling a post method. In post method, before it goes to post method, it goes to web.xml. It checks that to this URL pattern new servlet, what is the name of servlet? That name of servlet was new servlet. What is the respective class? Respective class is new servlet. So it will go and execute a new servlet class, and then in new servlet class we have done request.get parameter. We have got Pawan here, and then using out and content type as a text HTML, we are printing it on console. So this is a pretty simple example in which we got a success while running our first servlet application without an IDE.